Hey folks, I'm the Mysterious JG. Welcome back to Let's Play Romance of Three Kingdoms 13. We are now going to have exciting martial music playing in the background as we enter into the first of, I'm not sure exactly how many videos it's going to take, to go through all the officers, the created officers, and see how everyone is doing. There's this temptation to go help Genji with culture, but in fact, it's time to stop worrying about that stuff. Oh, but I just brought us to this music instead. Well, I guess people could decide which one they prefer, but you're not really going to get an opportunity to tell me. Anyway, we're going to go through all the officers. We're going to figure out what's going on. This should be all officers, including those who are in other forces. It will not include any officers who are dead, which is why right off the bat I'm looking for Andrew Storm, so maybe he's Storm Andrew. I knew that there's two officers who died, Mr. Sheldon, somebody else, and I can't remember who the other one who died was. Mr. Shelton got killed by, she seems like an interesting character. Is she one of the created officers that we didn't create? It was her advice allowed Yang Zhu to remain safe and serve in politics at the time. I think she's like an actual character from like ancient China or some crap. But anyway. And this guy has like the coolest name. Attacked again after being released, but was cut down from a top of his horse by Zhao Yun. Anyway, Storm Andrew, unless he shows up as Storm Andrew, we just gotta move on to All Dragon and figure that Storm Andrew got killed at some point. But no, he didn't, because I thought I recognized the name. Storm Andrew is currently the governor of Chenliu, working for Cao Cao. I don't think he started in Cao Cao's force, I do not remember. He's he's rank 2. He's a very high rank officer. So he must have been with the force for a long time, or he's got a lot of deeds. Yeah, his bravery ranking is very high. Yeah, with his 90 leadership and 90 war, he is primarily a military officer. And, you know, he's got the crap bio that everybody has. But with a rank of 2 and governor of Chenliu, he's somebody who moved up very high in the force. So how do I actually get to seeing his is there a way to see his I guess you have to come to it from a different way. I'd have to come to it from, like, how do I search for people on this? I figured out how to do this before. Search and then Storm Andrew, that's how we were doing it. So that we could get a quick look at what everybody's relationships and stuff were. But yeah, Storm Andrews stormed his way up to the top of the ranks. He is a rank 2 officer. Though you can see we've got, as we get later in the game, we get a lot of officers at higher ranks like that. Suma Yi is only rank 3 though, so he's at a higher rank than Suma Yi. I'm kind of wondering where JG Mystery's rank is, if it's 1 or 2. It might be that you can't actually be rank 1 unless you rule a force. I don't remember how that worked. JG Mystery is definitely the highest rank that an officer can have, though. And not be a force ruler. And I've moved right past where he would be. And I'm not finding him. Oh, because I'm already on JG Mystery. So JG Mystery is at status as Viceroy. He's rank 1. Okay, so you can be at a higher rank than Storm Andrew, but not too much higher. He's right up there. He's at a higher rank than like Suma Yi, whom I've been using quite a bit. He's developed a friendship with Chen Kun and with the Zax. And again, he's like the mayor, the governor of Chenliu. And he's got an extremely... He honors bravery and reveres aptitude. So his duty record isn't super high, but it's not negative. I think that means he was in another force, went over to Lu Bu's side, and now he's been with Lu Bu long enough to have built up a record again. Next, we'll search for All Dragon. That was simple enough. You can master weapons. All Dragon is a man unto himself. He hasn't formed any particularly strong friendships with anyone. He is in Hanzhong, which is the front line of the final battle against Ma Teng, and is in fact where Ma Teng is trying to attack. I vaguely remember that he was with Yuan Shu's force and then was taken over into Sun Xuan's force, because I remember off-screen action where we got him by defeating Yuan Shu, and I was disappointed that we lost him and a couple of other good officers temporarily when Sun Xuan took out Yuan Shu. He's only at rank 4, which is still pretty high, but not as high as some. He's in Panzer Toll's unit launching an assault. I forgot to see where Storm Andrew is, but I'm sure he's also in a unit right now. He's got negative duty because... I guess because he went from one force to another. He's been sort of a journeyman. Lu Bu's force is the third force he's worked for, but he's got impressive bravery and aptitude, kind of a split of different things that he's done. But he's a normal officer. He's not being used as a minister currently, which is mildly surprising for someone of his talents, but that does happen in these games with a bunch of created officers. You have a bunch of really talented people added to the mix. Somebody of his talent probably would have been made a minister if there weren't so many created officers floating around. I want to find Storm Andrew real quick just to see what unit he's with right now. No. And he is... Ah, yes, he is leading the Storm Andrew unit. That's what I figured. So he is, in fact, in charge of a unit that's in combat, or that's marching to attack Ma Teng as we speak. Except that they're frozen in time. Big Cheese is next. Big Cheese has formed a friendship with Du Ji. Oh, that's right, because Big Cheese... That is interesting. Big Cheese is an officer of Lu Bu's army, and Du Ji is an officer of Wei's army. They have maxed out their rapport with each other. And I can only assume it was from a time when they were together in Cao Cao's force, and then Du Ji probably went over to Ma Teng because we didn't quite hire him. Let's see his bio real quick. He's a real officer. Minister of Wei, grandfather to Du Yu, father to Du Shi. Served Cao Cao. Oh, with this trust, he was left in charge of the capital in Cao Pi, moved to invade Wu. He drowned when a boat overturned on him. He was able to provide all supplies necessary for Cao Cao's suppression of the rebellion of Ma Chao and Pang De. Okay, so he is kind of associated with the Ma clan, although as their enemy. Well, we will come back now to Big Cheese. She uses grand healing powers. She is on a mission to protect Big Cheese. What? I'm not sure I understand that. I think she's probably in combat. Oh, she's leading a unit that's under orders to protect Hanzhong, because we haven't switched them over to assaulting Wudu yet. She doesn't want gifts, which it might be why she doesn't have a huge amount of well, no, because in this game I don't think created officers give each... I don't think the officers you're not controlling give each other gifts. I think they just have rapport gained by working together. But she's at rank 2. She's governor of Lujiang. She's done pretty well for herself. And again, negative duty record because she didn't start out working for Lu Bu's force. She's leading a unit in combat because of her high rank in the force. She's tied with a couple of other people for being second to JG Mystery in rankings in the force, but obviously she's a civil officer because her bravery duty is very low, but her aptitude is excellent. So she's one of these people who's helped build up cities. And I don't remember having come across her in council meetings, because if I had, she would probably be something of an enemy to us, since the domestic officers tend to be a pain in the butt when it's time for council and I'm trying to order military action. And it reminds me of nothing more than and I'm blanking on his name. We'll be seeing him in the next hero mode when I play as the Sun Force. The two Zhangs rather, of Wu, and I don't remember his name, but he's always portrayed as like gray-haired, gray-bearded old guy. In the novel, when after Sun Tzu dies and Sun Quan is trying to decide what to do about Cao Cao, and Zhou Yu and Zhuge Liang both want him to work with Shu, not that it's called Shu yet, against Cao Cao, and Zhang, and I can't remember his name, his full name, is the main voice of suggesting surrender to Cao Cao. Because he was a brilliant officer, he did a lot of good for Wu, but he didn't want to fight, he wanted to be all peaceful. And that's what I'm reminded of by all these officers who show up. Fang Jiao is one of them in this game. It's like, I think that, it's like, oh, we're being attacked, what should we do? I think we should increase culture by 1,000 in all cities. Like, what? Anyway. Big Cheese, we just did, so Clark Griswold's left. Next. Or maybe he's Griswold to Clark. Or maybe I just haven't gotten to Clark Griswold and I need to be patient. There he is. Clark Griswold, a man unto himself. He is in our force. He is the governor of Jinye. He's rank 3. He's leading his own unit out to attack or to defend Anzhong. And he's got a lot more bravery than aptitude because he's a war officer. But his duty score suggests he didn't start out working for us. There you go, rank 3. He's leading his own unit. He is the governor of his own city. Not too shabby, Clark Griswold. Then we have Klein Calvin, who I insulted in the last video because I was really pissed off at Shu and getting kind of tired of reading these, like, entertaining himself comments about his senpai. Like, when talking about sucking Zhu-Shu's balls in the comment section, I was like, okay, I think I've had enough of your, like, it's funny, I'm like an underclassman in an anime who is obsessed with an overclassman, in this case Zhu-Shu. I'm like, okay, got it. But anyway, Klein Calvin, goofy comments aside, he's a guy that we hired from Sun Quan, and he has moved up in the ranks. He was kind of getting moved around and not doing much, but when I got him as when I got him in my district and I promoted him, his intelligence and governance are very high. He's been building up cities. You can see he's got a really great aptitude record, not much of a bravery record. His duty is negative because he defected away from Wu, although as I recall he did so after they'd already fallen. And he is leading, again, like all the created characters are either in or leading a unit. So his military scores are terrible because his ranking is so high in the force, he can command a lot of troops. So he's probably in a unit with some other guys in there to bolster their military stats. He can command 9,000 troops. And he can encourage you and also talk about sucking Zhu-Shu's balls. Those are his two specialties. And I don't see Zhu-Shu in your circle of friends here. I'm just saying. I know that you like Zhu-Shu. I don't know that Zhu-Shu likes you. Let's look at Zhu-Shu real quick. Because it seems like some people just had this mysterious bond that had formed with somebody who they had chosen in the... Oh wow, he's not really that impressive in this, is he? Well, he's got a friendship with JG Mystery, but that's it. Well, I had made him... I'm not sure why he's doing so poorly here as far as, like, the size of his head. But he's my war minister for my entire... He's only rank 3, but he's got a title of court officer. Anyway, we're not supposed to be spending time looking up the actual officers. We're supposed to be looking up created officers. The next created officer. So yeah, I don't know how that works. I'm sure that in his character, like... Unless Klein Calvin had like a mental breakdown during the LP and started dreaming up fantasy scenarios with Zhu-Shu and writing shipping fanfics, but it didn't have any of that in mind when he created his character. I'm pretty sure he put as his liked officer Zhu Shu, and that doesn't seem to have mean that the two of them actually became friends in the game. I'm not sure I get it. I guess if I located them in the same city, it could have happened. Q Little, in the meantime, Zhu Shu, however, per the goofy comments, is probably quite pleased not being in the same city as Client Calvin. Q Little says that we can master commerce. Thank you, Q Little, for that vote of confidence. Q Little is an island unto himself. He's working for Ma Teng. He can command 10,000 troops. So he's doing pretty good in Ma Teng's force. The Junior Minister of War, rank 2. He is not currently deployed, though. He is probably, yeah, on Ding. I think he's in one of those cities that's not on the front line that hasn't deployed yet. So he's got a negative duties rank, so I wonder if he's... I don't understand that. Maybe the duty is based on his eyes in the Imperial Court, which is currently ruled by Lu Bu. I don't know, but I thought Q Little was always in Ma Teng's force. Maybe he was a member of a force that got defeated, and he moved over to Ma Teng's force rather than joining with the force that defeated him. Whether that was us, or Cao Cao, or Yuan Shang. But either way, he is a very high-ranking officer for Ma Teng, and he is going down. Ma Teng's force is not going to survive. They'll probably survive the calendar year, but I don't think they will survive another year in game time. If they do it, well, they're in real trouble. Dragon Demon is next. I need to try to get him, I can't remember, is it him or somebody really wants to be involved in the final battle with Lizard Lord. Dragon Demon and I have formed something of a friendship because he was my one of my ministers for a long time. And eventually that ended when I got Zhu Shu, who has the same awesome ability, but oh no, wait. I'm thinking of somebody else. No, it is him, Impartiality. So he was he's now the governor of Julu, so I gave him something. He had been my minister for a long time, domestic minister, I guess. Military, war minister, whichever one Impartiality helps with. Yeah, he was my war minister for a long time before I got Zhu Shu. Because I found that to be very helpful. Especially because early in the game, we kept beating forces, hiring their officers, and then having people defect from us. And Dragon Demon helped put a stop to that. He's rank 3. He is leading an attack unit right now, and he is overall kind of a mix officer. But he's had a lot of success in the LP. I'm surprised he's only at rank 2. Sometimes the people who I end up having hanging around with me doesn't help their deeds out that much unless I'm going around trying to give them difficult things to accomplish and helping them do them, like I was with the various women I've attempted to marry. He's so gifted in battle tactics that his enemies cower in fear. Don't remember which force he started out with. Anyway, moving on to Earl King. Oh man, Earl King was located in such a way. I thought he was really like heavily involved with some cool people, but he does seem to be floating around on his own now. So Earl King he's the war minister under Lu Bu district, so that's pretty impressive. He's got the personable skill as opposed to impartiality. I don't remember what that one does. He is rank 1, so Earl King, senior minister. He is at the same rank as JG Mystery. So that is interesting. So I might want to actually do a direct comparison between us. He's got a negative duty record of quite a bit. I think he was with Cao Cao. I don't remember for sure. But yeah, well, he's got a lot of deeds in both categories, so he's been pretty impressive. Not sure where he got all those bravery deeds from with a leader of 55. He must be out there in some battles though. But yeah, Earl King has really, really climbed in the ranks. So let us, so his deeds, hold on. 1800 bravery and 2800 aptitude. Oh, where did I go all of a sudden? I thought I was going to be able to find myself easily. Well, I'll be on this chart. It should be right underneath Bobo, yeah. I have... Okay, I've got significantly more deeds than him. But if the thing kept going, he would eventually catch up because I hit a ceiling. So, I think of myself as being rank 1A, and he's rank 1, but, I'm the chief officer. He was... What was he again? It was, senior officer or something. Oh, well, I've lost him now in the shuffle. Anyway, moving on. Fall Jaxors, who had been a bit of an enemy of JG in councils in the past. There she is, right next to Lizard Lord for some reason. She is, of course, married to Falger and has developed a friendship with Cheng Kun, who I want to look up real quick just because a couple people seem to have been friends with him. He established a 9-class system for civil service nomination, became guardian of the military following the death of Cao Pi, and advised Cao Rui along with Sima Hui and Cao Zhen. So he's a pretty important guy, actually. He's domestic minister under Lu Bu, but... Fall Jaxors is 44 years old in this world. She is rank 2. She is a war minister under Lu Bu. Must be a local war minister, though. She can't be the war minister for the force. I thought we figured out that that was Earl King. Anyway, she's got a positive duty record, which is... She's been with the force all along. I don't know why... I don't know what controls that one, but she's got a lot of aptitude. Bravery score is about half as high. And, again, rank 2. Pretty good. But she's not in battle. She got left... She and Falger got geographically separated long ago in this LP. Because she remained in the Lu Bu district. But she is training guys. She did not get sent out to go to war. So that's interesting. While we're here, we'll check in on Fall Jaxors, or Falger. As we can see, Chen Gui goes away and JG Mystery comes in as his friend, who is sort of attached to his overall chart. Falger has the greatest mustache ever, because there was no Uncle Baldo portraits in this one. He is the governor of Changsha. I believe he is leading a force out right now, yes. He is an order. He is rank 2. So, wait a second. What rank was she at? She is rank 2 as well. 4,400 merit. $3,300 merit. So, well, Falger, I tried my best. I had you leading several units during the conquest of various groups, including Shiji, but your avatar was not able to keep up the accomplishments of Fall Jaxors, who is not even watching the series. But yeah, rank 2 is pretty good, and he has again much higher. He has higher bravery than aptitude, although he's because a much more even split than Fall Jaxors had. On to Feng Jiao, a name I remember well. I love the idea of this, like, you know, this bright and capable female officer of a domestic sort. But she ended up becoming an enemy of JG Mysteries politically. They're friends, like they are friends, and I mean like friends like they have not actually formed the bond level 1 friendship. They are at the point where a quest would trigger if I kept talking to her, where I would be forced to do a duel, find some wine, win a debate, whatever, and we could become friends. So it's that, like, it's that level of connection one short of friendship. Like We enjoy working together, except for the fact that it seems like politically we are always enemies. But she's been floating around in a circle with me and Lu Bu to the point where she's now developed strong ties with multiple other officers, including Fat John and Vulture Bobo, because she's been a regular appearing at these force councils. I don't know what it means that Jushu and Lord Adam are floating around. I mean, there's some rapport there. She's been sucking up to the boss a bit. You got Kuion, Jihao N. These are just people... because she's now in Xiangyang. Ah, so she's in the same city as these guys, has been working with them. But anyway, so yeah, she's got quite an interesting little tree here. Let's see what she's been up to. She has, oh, I just noticed arouse, but that's not actually one of her skills. She is, the Chief Minister, rank 1. So she, Fang, Earl King, and I are all rank 1 officers under Lu Bu so far. She's got about halfway to completely maxing out her aptitude. And has some bravery stuff to boot. Probably she's been in... I know I've had her marching and leading armies just because she was a high enough rank that she could lead a lot of troops. And, her record is positive. I believe she's been with the force from the beginning, or very close to it. 100 in governance, 98 in intelligence. Rank 1 domestic minister. And with domestic minister R, I'm not sure if that's regional or the entire force. I don't remember what those is. G and R, and I think she might be the domestic minister for the entire force, actually. Of course, we could find that out. Force. Yeah, okay, so for the overall force level, Earl King is the war minister, Fang Xiao is the domestic minister, Fat John is the military minister, and so you're basically your big 5 officers of the entire force are Emperor Lu Bu, then Viceroy J.G. Mystery, War Minister Earl King, Domestic Minister Fang Xiao, and Military Minister Fat John. So pretty much the created characters have taken over Lu Bu's government, which is not that shocking. And then if you were to go in and look at districts, then you can see that I've got Jushu, Cao Pi, and Jiao Yuan. And at the district level, Lu Bu has... Oh, he doesn't have them at the district level. Interesting. I guess the ones that are for the entire force work for his district too. And then individual cities also have... like, I haven't appointed anybody in my city, and that might be me making a mistake. But other cities have... like city level war minister, domestic minister, military minister. Maybe that's how it works too for... Nope, because I believe this was Lu Bu's seat of government. Province capital, yeah. Oh no, it's province, never mind. Well, for a long time this was Lu Bu's capital. Is there a city that's considered to be Lu Bu's home city? I suppose I could look up Lu Bu and find out. Now I'm getting distracted, but... I'm curious to see how this works now that the LP is almost over. So he's affiliated with the Xiangyang. And I think that's where I was just looking. Yeah, so Vulture Bobo is actually the governor of the city Lu Bu is associated with, and he has appointed... So I could probably appoint someone else to be governor of the city I'm in, and it could have its own local leadership too. Anyway, there you go, folks. Earl King, Fang Xiao, and Fat John are the 3 governors for the overall Lu Bu force. So if I go back to here... and I go back to search, and I go back, I was looking at Fang Jiao, and seeing how far she came along. The next person on the list is the other person that we just noticed how far up they went. Fat John. Fat John says we can master training. Fat John has a slightly less involved, but still kind of interesting one. He and Meng Huo became friends. Fat John perhaps hired him. I'm not sure. He's formed a friendship with JG Mystery, Sun Da, and Kalda Kaeda. Although, considering how high up he moved in the ranks, they might just be kind of trying to hitch their wagon to that rising star. That's a thing that exists, right? Hitching wagons to stars. Anyways, leadership is at 100, but doesn't seem to be improving any. He is rank 1. He is currently in Lu Bu's unit, so he's the Minister of War for the entire force. Or he's the military minister for the entire force, but he doesn't get his own unit. He's marching with Lu Bu in an assault. And he's got 50,000 merit, 3,000 bravery deeds. He's got like no aptitude deeds, despite having intelligence of 70. He gave himself governance of 5. He knew what he was doing when he created this character. So he's done nothing to help our cities, but he's out there leading combat. And his duty record should be pretty high because he's been with our force this whole time. I want to check my stats again. Yeah, I don't know why my duty record is... Oh! That's because of accomplishing tasks. So it's not just how long you've been with your force, but also when you go out and... becoming a viceroy probably gave me the opportunity to skyrocket those, actually. And my merit is also maxed out. So 60,000 merit is the max. He is getting pretty close to maxing out his merit. So, I mean, you can't expect any of the created officers who are being run by the AI to thrive to the extent that the game character has. But Fat John has done pretty damn well for himself. Next up is Gowron. Gowron. He was the leader of the Klingon Empire until Worf cut him down and then tried to put Martok in charge. But I know that because I'm a total nerd. I know that's shocking to you to hear that. So Gowron, following after Gaoding, Gaogan, Gaolan, now Gowron. She's governor, so she's done alright for herself. She has formed a friendship with Zhang Cheng. Zhang Man Cheng. And floating around there somewhere are Ying Mo and Wang Jiang. She's a very middle-of-the-road officer. Oh, that's right. I don't think this person's watching the LP, folks. I don't think this person's watching. Because I painted myself in a corner when I said anybody who donates more than a certain amount to Zerfall's charity stream automatically gets in, no matter what. And I'd also said, but if you don't complete a full application, I'm not even going to consider you. That's when I thought there was going to be a lethal lottery. Now, I've got this person who... They was like, just give me a random roll, lol. Like, no, not really expressing any interest in, like, finding out how the game works. Or just like, give me a random roll, lol. I'm not going to watch it. They didn't say I'm not going to watch it anyway, but I kind of got that impression. She got a really good roll. This is a very strong overall character. Short-term merit 126. Force ranking 27. Yeah, she's got great stats. So, of course, she's come up with great accomplishments. I believe she's been with us the whole time. Her merit is not quite where Fat John's is, but she's pretty close to maxing out. And she's the rank 2 horse captain and the governor of Pingyuan, which is in Lu Bu district. So that's why we haven't seen that much of her in the LP. So yeah, it's nice to see that Gowron didn't manage to get killed. Next up is Jams Jims / Jim Jams, and as I think we established last time, either I forgot to create them or they got killed, or I created them and they never popped in the LP because they picked a birth date that didn't line up right with everything. I'm not 100% sure what happened. It's probably my fault. I guess if I play another game through, I'll have to make a Jams Jim character and make sure that they play more of a role. Next up would be Jen Burke, although frankly I want to take a second look at Huang Yueying, if everybody's okay with that. The only person she's established a whole lot of relations with, unfortunately, is JG Mystery. That's too bad. She joined our force pretty late in the whole LP because of her birth date. She's part of like the generation of events that happened after Lu Bu's death. I mean, Zhuge Liang's first appearance in the novel is after the death of Lu Bu. And Yue Ying was his wife, probably younger than he is. I don't really know that for sure. But she's at rank 6, and she hasn't been with the Force for very long. She is a normal officer, though. And she has got some aptitude that she's rolling up. A little bit of merit. I mean, you know, she's just kind of getting started as an officer in the Force. So you wouldn't expect a whole hell of a lot to have been accomplished by Yue Ying. But I do appreciate that this is just to give you guys an idea of how over the top all of our created characters are. Especially when you work to give yourself one dump stat so you can be really great at everything else. Yue Ying was supposed to be a borderline genius. But she's got intelligence of 88, governance of 89. Like, the whole thing was like she was inventing things. And she was, like, holding her own, like, at the same level as Zhuge Liang in discussions with them. But they only gave her an intelligence of 88. So we've got all these characters with 100 intelligence and stuff. Yeah, it's... Our created officers, like, all of them are pretty much epic talents.